Who is the single best team in the NBA against the spread coming off a loss? Let's talk about it. Find out here. Double Gamer Video, ESPN Wednesday night, powered by WagerTalk. Let's talk Celtics Heat. Let's talk Spurs Warriors. And ironically, the first of the two games, the Celtics and the Heat, has the two teams who are the single best teams in the NBA coming off a loss. Boston, 16-8, 67% against the spread, full season, coming off a defeat. Miami, 24-12, 67% ATS, full season, coming off a defeat. But Miami won last game. Boston did not. And in fact, not only did the Celtics lose their MVP candidate, their best player this season, Jaylen Brown's quote, that was probably my worst game of the season. This game was on me. I got to be better. Probably one of my worst performances in a while, and it cost us. I missed a lot of easy shots. It was a very physical game, playoff-like atmosphere, and I didn't think we adjusted quick enough. They came to play. We didn't adjust to the physicality. So a good game to learn from. That, my friends, is what I would consider a bet-on quote for the next game. You have a superstar player saying, I sucked. I stunk it up last time out. I will do better next time. And we would expect that from Boston, who has been great coming off a loss full season. Is that enough? Well, looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen right now, Celtics -5. There are some 4.5s out there. DK, MGM is 4.5s as we speak right now. But most of the cards sitting at 5 for Boston, or most books sitting at 5. Total 228.5. There are some 229s out there. There's a little bit of pressure upwards on this total as we speak. And I mentioned the Odds Logic live odds screen. If you want to try it, guys, real simple. oddslogic.com/Teddy. 7-day free trial. It's cool. I use it every day. I don't talk about it because it's a product I don't use. I use it. It helps me. oddslogic.com/Teddy. Again, it takes about a minute to fill out the form, but try it. I encourage you to take advantage. But Boston, 4.5, 5 right now as we speak, coming off a loss, coming off a dismal game for Jaylen Brown and company. And there's certainly reasons to think. And of course, one other thing worth noting, the loss for Boston on Monday. They didn't have Keita in the low post. They didn't have Tatum, who is sitting out some games down the stretch as he gets ready to ramp up for the postseason. Obviously, he missed most of the season with his recovering from his Achilles. But they should have Tatum back tonight. They should have Tatum back tonight. They should have Jaylen Brown in good form, in theory, this evening. Now, on the Miami side of the equation, there's certainly urgency for the Heat. They've got something to play for, I should say, when it comes to trying to stay out of the 9 and the 10 seed. They're in this three-way battle with Orlando and Charlotte fighting for the 8th seed in the East. And again, the difference between the 8th seed and the 9th seed, 1 win to make the playoffs versus 2 wins to make the playoffs. And there are some of these teams that are in play-in position that you're like, yeah, they don't want it that much. Miami doesn't feel that way. Miami feels like they're hungry. So in that sense, there's certainly urgency. But this has not been one of those scenarios where, yeah, Miami's competing with all the best of the teams. They're not. They've struggled against Boston. They're Celtics 9-1 straight up the last 10 meetings. Both meetings this year have been close, but it's a Heat team that's been wildly erratic. I haven't been playing a lot of Miami games in recent weeks because they're a team I found difficult to handicap. The ups, the downs. Who's on the floor for Miami doesn't seem to have much of an impact on how the game. It's like when they're at full strength, they almost seem weaker sometimes than they are when they're missing guys. I can't tell you, looking in the eye, I've had a good read on a number of teams. Miami hasn't been one of them. That being said, I don't want the Heat tonight. Celtics, best in the NBA coming off of a loss, ATS, with focus and, again, urgency. I don't worry too much about the seeding issues. I am interested in Boston coming off a loss, and I just don't trust Miami to hang with the elite squads of the NBA. So if I'm playing, I'm laying in the first half of the ESPN doubleheader tonight. It's Celtics or pass for this better. Before I talk about the Warriors and the Spurs, I do want to let you know what's going on right now at WagerTalk.com. And really, I'm talking to you guys who have never bought from WagerTalk before. If you bought from WagerTalk, you know what's going on. We have good deals, we have good specials, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, you're a first timer, you've never bought from WagerTalk, let me tell you what goes on, all right? We have a bunch of cappers who've been doing this a long time and have shown profitability long term, plain and simple. Sometimes guys will go on good runs. I'm on a pretty good run right now across sports. Last 3 days, last week, last couple of weeks, rock solid, making money for the clients. The NBA, for me, has been good both short term and long term. 71% over the last couple of weeks in the NBA, 10 and 4 over the last 14. And I'm close to 200 units of profit in NBA action over the last 4 years. Don't buy plays. I encourage you. If you want to get on board, get a package. We have great deals right now. Buy the rest of the NBA season, right through Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The NBA playoff package is normally $249. We're charging $199 for it right now. We're throwing in the last 2 weeks of the regular season free. Good deal. Right now, every play through the end of the finals for $1.99. That too much? That's fine. Buy 3 days, get 3 free. Real simple. $69. All right, in and out, 6-day package. Try it. WT.buzz/TC, or just visit the website, WagerTalk.com. Thank you for your consideration. Now let's talk about the second of these two games when it comes to Wednesday night ESPN doubleheader. That would be the Spurs and the Warriors. Looking at that Odds Logic live odds screen. 14s out there right now for San Antonio. 14.5 starting to pop up for the Spurs. Total sitting 226 and a half. And Golden State, when you talk about a team that knows what's going to go down, Golden State knows that they're going to be in the play-in game, and they know they're going to get eliminated. They're not playing a playoff series this year. We read the quotes out of the locker room, they know that, Ricky Santos. And this is from a week or two ago, but the point was the same. We know it doesn't matter if we win 13 games or we lose 13 games, we're going to be playing in the play-in. We had our eye on the 6th seed for a while. Steve Kerr. We had our eye on the 6th seed for a while. That's out of the question. We're not getting there. We're not getting to the 7. We know that. Can we prepare ourselves for the play-in? We have to be prepared for when we get guys back. Well, nobody's coming back tonight for Golden State. There's talk that Curry is starting to work on his conditioning. So there may be light at the end of the tunnel, but this is not a Warriors team primed to hang tough with good foes. We saw that the other night in Denver, where Golden State played a good half. And then the Nuggets got interested. And next thing you know, 116-93. All right, that's what good teams are doing. That was a half. Denver didn't even show up for a half. But good teams against Golden State are going to beat up on this squad. They are. San Antonio, a good team. They're a really good team. They're good. They're on fire. Spurs, 14-1 straight up in the month of March. Wembanyama playing at an MVP level. His quote, "We have a healthy locker room. We're just happy as a whole because we all get along on and off the court. Anything is possible." The Spurs, not once, twice, they lost to the Warriors this season. All right. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler were in those games, but they beat them 125-120 and then 109-108 back pre-All-Star break. I think it's time for San Antonio to get their paybacks. And again, you're not getting point spread bargains here. You're laying 13.5, 14 in this ball game. That being said, my number on the game, my powering number came San Antonio 14.5. And this is not a dog that I want. Spurs or pass for this better. So for both of the ESPN games tonight, if I'm playing, I'm laying. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Really, stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content. We appreciate the comments, the likes, the follows. Be part of the community. And thank you for watching WagerTalk TV. Have yourself a great betting Wednesday. Visit my homepage, WT.buzz/TC, and we'll talk to you again with more free play videos from WagerTalk.com. Check out my Teddy's Tips show each and every weekday right here on WagerTalk TV. 10 minutes of NBA content, start to finish. Check it out. Have a great day. Cheers.